We all love some football fairy tales, don't we? The unpredictable events and surprising results are the reason why we call football the beautiful game. Every club has a chance to win until the final whistle is blown. We can all remember Leicester City's historic achievement in the 2015-2016 season when they conquered the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal to be crowned as the Premier League champions just one season after gaining promotion to the top division. Such accomplishment would be difficult to replicate, right? Well, what if we told you that Rakow Czestochowa did something similar in the Polish league last year? Do you want to learn more? Well, stick around as we take you through Rakow's history, analyze their latest triumph, and discover what the future holds for them. When it comes to Polish football, you might have heard of clubs such as Lech Poznan or Legia Warsaw, as they sometimes make it to the Champions League or Europa League group stages. But you probably never heard of Rakow Czestochowa. We bet that you can't even pronounce their name. Joking aside, let us explore Rakow's history together. The club was established in 1921 in the village of Rakow under the name of Rakowia. It was an amateur club founded by the youth of Rakow. However, 4 years later, the club was dissolved due to a lack of registration. In 1927, the club was reactivated and named Robotnicy Klub Sportowy, or the Workers' Sports Club. 1 year later, the village of Rakow became a district of Częstochowa city. The club started to operate under the patronage of the Polish Socialist Party and was funded by the city's steelworks. The club also changed the kit's colors from green shirts with black lapels to the red and blue colors the players wear today. Rakow didn't know any success in the 20th century. In fact, their greatest achievement was when they reached the 1967 Polish Cup final, which they eventually lost. Still, the players were satisfied with their silver medals as they considered reaching the final a historic success. It wasn't until 1994 that Rakow finally earned promotion to the top division for the first time in their history. The rise was secured with 2 games remaining in the season. The most beautiful thing is the work of creation, and we in Rakow managed to create something, said Rakow's manager at the time, Zbigniew Dobosz. The club went on to spend 4 consecutive seasons where they achieved their highest position in the table after finishing 8th in the 1995-1996 season. However, things started to get worse with the club facing relegation in the 1997-1998 season before suffering back-to-back relegations in 1999 to 2000 and 2000 to 2001, dropping to the 5th level of Polish football. After years of struggling and playing in the lower division of the Polish football system, Rakow finally climbed back to the 2nd division in 2016, where they spent 3 years before they eventually gained promotion back to the top division in 2019, 25 years since they last played in it. This achievement wouldn't have been possible without the appointment of Polish manager Marek Papsun, who took charge of Rakow in 2016 and led them from the 3rd level of Polish football to the top division. This promotion proved to be the catalyst in Rakow's history. The club went back to the top division with a vengeance. After finishing 10th in the 2019-2020 season, the club leaped forward to finish 2nd in the following campaign and won the Polish Cup and the Polish Super Cup for the first time. It was an unforgettable season, especially since it was the club's centenary year. But wait, the best is yet to come. In 2021-2022, Rakow replicated their previous campaign success by finishing again in 2nd place and winning their consecutive Polish Cup and Polish Super Cup. This brings us to the 2022-2023 season, where the impossible dream was made possible, and Rakow finally reached the top of Polish football. Under Marek Papsun's management, Rakow finished the season as champions with 75 points from 34 games played, 9 points above the reigning champions, Legia Warsaw. The club had the best attack in the league with 63 goals and the best defense, as they only conceded 24 goals. The club went into a 17 games unbeaten run during the season, which was why they ran away with the title with 3 games left. Just like that, Rakow went from the 5th division to the best club in the country. It's just proof that anything can happen in football. But how did Popsun and Rakow manage to reach this height? Let us dig in furthermore. Rakow finished the season as the best team in the league for expected goals against, XGA, which highlights Popsun's emphasis on his players being solid in the defensive phase. The champions also press very high up the pitch. Therefore, the team's forwards acted as the first defensive line, limiting the opposition from progressing the ball to Rakow's defensive area. Popsun's team is also comfortable in possession, averaging 53% ball possession throughout the season. So how can the opposition score if they don't have the ball? This explains how Rakow ended the season with the least number of goals conceded in the league. Regarding the attack, as mentioned before, Rakow has the best front line in the league with 63 goals. The manager encourages wide build-up between wing-backs and wingers and focuses heavily on crosses when reaching the final third, a tactic that proved to be fruitful as Rakow averaged a goal every 49 minutes in Ekstraklasa. Popsun used the 3-4-3 formation for the majority of the season. This provides the platform for his players to press up the pitch with high intensity. To keep it simple, Rakow allows opponents to make just under 8 passes before engaging in the action. Absolutely relentless. Of course, the manager isn't the only factor behind Rakow's brilliance. The club has been operating intelligently behind the scenes regarding transfers. Nowak, Lopez, and Gutkovski's combined together to score 27 goals. The club's top 3 goal scorers were all brought in the last 3 years for less than €1 million. The same goes for the defensive department of Rakow. Goalkeeper Vladan Kovacevic and club captain and defender Zoran Arsenik, who helped Rakow have the best defensive record, were also brought in the same period as the club's top goal scorers. The club didn't not only target the right profile of players that helped the manager implement his ideas, but they also assembled a young team core with an average age of 24.7 years. With the club potentially playing in Europe for the first time in its history next season, further enforcement in the squad is much needed. Rakow's management wasted no time backing their legendary manager as they already signed Slask Wrocław's German midfielder, John Yeboah, who finished last season with 13 goals and 2 assists in 36 league and cup appearances. After loaning him from AEK Athens in the previous season, Rakow signed the defender Stratos Svarnas permanently after he impressed during the last campaign. This shows the true intention of the club to back their manager to have more success in the future. The ambition to play in the Champions League will also be a massive factor in how the club operates during this transfer window. After last year's triumph, and with the dream of participating in one of the most prestigious competitions in the world for next year, there is no doubt that Popsun and his player will try to replicate the magic they produced, and why not even exceed it in the coming campaign. Rakow went from the lowest point of Polish football to the absolute top thanks to the relentless style of football the club has adopted, which made it the most feared team in Poland. And why not replicate this form in Europe to reach the Champions League group stages? What about you? Do you think Rakow will go on to establish themselves on top of Polish football? Will they manage to participate in the Champions League? Share your thoughts in the comments, and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons for more content.